Hello, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start second unit, ARM processors. Now we will see what contents we are going to learn under the second unit. See, as per its name, ARM processor, we are going to understand first the ARM processor and its versions. Okay. Then ARM 7, ARM 9, and ARM 11 features. Then their advantages and suitability in embedded applications. Then introduction to TIVA TM4C 123G series. Its overview we are going to learn. Its programming model and what library available in this TivaWare that we will see. Just briefly, we will go through it. Then in depth we will go what is the ARM 7, so its architecture, then its registers, CPSR, SPSR, then ARM and risk design philosophy, then ARM 7 data flow model, then programming model and modes of operations. These things we are going to learn. Then ARM 7 based microcontroller LPC2148 is nowadays most prominently adopted in different applications. So we will see what are its features, its architecture, block diagram and description. Then system control block like PLL, VPB divider, memory map, GPIOs and timers. Just these things we will go for understanding under this ARM processor. So we will continue our second unit ARM processor with the brief introduction. So here introduction to the ARM 7, the first encounter that we will see here. So question is, what is ARM 7? So generally ARM 7 is a advanced RISC machine. Okay. So generally in earlier day it was called as an acronic RISC machine, but nowadays it is called as advanced RISC machine. Okay. So this is a first RISC microprocessor. It is used for commercial use. Whatever the market leaders, means whatever the product designers, manufacturers are most prominently adopted this controller or processor because of it has low power and cost sensitive embedded applications. Okay, so that's why this particularly controller is have benefit like that. So that's why we say it is a market leader controller. Okay, and it has whatever application, okay, they are low cost and low power applications you can build. So that's why they are very popular among the customers. Now we will see, as we are going to learn as this ARM 7 processors. So that's why first of all you should know what is that ARMS. Okay, so that's why that ARM 7 will name by the designer like the ARM 7 TDMI, or nowadays other names are also there that I tell you in the my further slides. So initially, I'm giving you a brief idea because it was most popular. So that's why this ARM 7 TDMI core is popular from 2007 onwards. Okay, so whatever the devices which are available in our market, okay, you can see they are utilizing ARM 7 TDMI controllers. Okay, so that's why here question arises here, what is this ARM 7 TDMI? So that's why I already told you that ARM means advanced RISC machine. 7 is just a number. Okay, there are many numbers are adopted with these okay, as per their versions point of view. So there is arm 1 2 3 4. In the same way here 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, these are the numbers. Okay, so that's why out of that 7 versions we are going to learn. Okay, so that's why arm 7 family has this TDMI structure. Okay, so see what is this TDMI. Okay, its core billable looks like this as shown in the figure. Okay, so see, T means thumb instruction sets. Okay, actually this controller will work in normal mode as well as in thumb mode. Okay, means this core has run capability, two-way running capability. Okay, means this is a 32-bit controller, or you can say it is a 32-bit processor. So this 32-bit processor will run entirely at a time. So that's why we will see say it is a ARM mode of the processor. But most of the cases that 32-bit is not necessary, because most of the programmer are not aware to handle the 32-bit programming, or the most of the programmer are saying that we have already predefined program. Okay, and that predefined program will be written in either in 16-bit, okay, or in a 24-bit. Okay, so most of the programmer are saying that we cannot rewrite the same program for the 32-bit version. So in such situation, what they are saying that you just club your program with your core, okay, and execute it. So that's why this facility is provided with your controller. So that's why here this controller core will work as 16-bit as well as 32-bit. So that's why this utility you need to switch with the help of the thumb mode. Okay, actually there is arm mode and a thumb mode. So whenever you are going to switch your arm controller from 32-bit core to the 16-bit, that time 16-bit instructions are accepted by your controller, and when your controller is working in 32-bit mode, that time it accepts 32-bit instructions. Okay, this is the utility. Okay, so that's why here we say it is arm mode or thumb mode. So that's why the thumb instruction set are accepted by the controller. So we will say it is a thumb instruction set mode. Then second is D, that D is highlighting debug interface. Okay, actually this is one of the major utility available with this controller, that it has debug facility nowadays. Whenever any engineer will write any program, so that's why it always need to debug his program to just verify whatever the variable, whatever the functions or loops are executing in the proper fashion or not. So that's why this debug interface is always necessary. So here this debug interface is a link with a JTAG or ICE breaker. Okay, so that's why these two utilities also club with this debug interface facilities. Okay, so here this is one of the section available with this controller, that debug interface. Okay, we will discuss it later on. Okay, but at this moment I think only you should know what is that meaning of this debug. So that's why debug means step by step execution of your program. So that's why you can able to verify your statement, whatever written or variable or a loop or a set of statements, you can verify whether they are working in proper fashion or not. So that's why the debug interface is necessary. Okay, then next is a multiplier unit is available. Okay, as it is called as an hardware unit. Okay, because it is written in bracket. Okay, actually multiplier concept is coming from our 8051 family. So that's why it's still running in the controller, high end controller also. Actually controller actually the controller have the hardware unit for doing the multiplications operations. Okay, Actually, in 8051 also, if you heard about that multiply and divide operation, the same thing will be carried out with the help of a specially dedicated hardware. Okay, because only we need to supply the data, and that particular instruction will do the multiplication operation. Okay, means in terms of processor and controller, you can find this is the huge difference. Okay, in terms of processor, you need to write that program, okay, for doing the multiplication or division between the two numbers. But in terms of microcontroller, you will find such instructions are dedicated instructions are available, and because these instructions are available because of that specially dedicated hardware. So that's why this concept is also present here. So that's why here you can see the multiplier unit that will help you to do the multiplications. Okay, so it has this facility. So here this ARM7 carries this multiplier. Okay, we will see again what is this multiplier and how it works. Okay, how it carries the data, and how it will help you to do the shifting operations as well as rotational operations. Okay, we will see everything one by one, right? Then interrupt unit is there. Okay, here this is a interrupt controller unit will be there. Okay, generally the interrupt is nothing but a request. That request will be accepted by your controller for doing any kind of activity, or you may say it will be an intruder signal or request signal. Okay, so that's why here different sets of interrupts are present. Okay, so in bracket it is written that is fast interrupt. So here you can say fast interrupt or a general purpose interrupt are available with this controller. Okay, or processor. Okay, as I am frequently saying that it is a controller or it is a processor. Yeah, it is like that. It will be, most of the designer are saying it is a processor, or most of the designer are saying it is a controller. Okay, so because of that, this is the beauty of this controller. So that's why here I'm telling you these things frequently. So that's why remember, actually you can utilize it as a processor, or you can say it will be an controller, no problem. There is no issue while utilizing. Okay, you can use it as a controller. Okay, so here I am now giving you a brief intro about this ARM7. ARM7 hold is ARM is holding inclusive is a fabless semiconductor company. Okay, that develops processor. Okay, uh, so SoC and softwares, etc. Okay, ARM was founded as Advanced RISC machine in 1990, as RISC is the main CPU design strategy implemented in its processor. Okay, so here this chip will have these things. ARM is the world leading provider of RISC-based microcontroller, microprocessor solutions, and other semiconductors IP, with more than 85 billion ARM-based chip being shipped to date. Like other microprocessor companies like Intel, Freescale, Hitachi, etc., ARM does not manufacture processor or other semiconductor devices, but rather license the semiconductor cores as intellectual properties. Okay, to other semiconductor companies like Atmel, Philips, Samsung, etc. The important, as per the intellectual property rights point of view, here ARM include its low power, low cost, high efficiency RISC microprocessor systems on chips and other peripherals. Okay, so these are the beauty, this is the beauty of this controller. Okay, and because of that, this controller is very popular. Apart from the processor and IP cores, ARM also provides comprehensive software development tools like Kyle and DS5 for developing complete system based on ARM microcontroller and system on chip. Today, ARM processors are found in almost any domain like handheld devices, consumer electronics, robotics, automations, etc. Processor developed from ARM's IP are used in embedded systems like smart TVs, smartwatches, smartphones, tablet computers, etc. Okay, so these are the various applications that you can able to find. Okay, with this ARM processor. Now, if you look this ARM in the market, so its name will be looks like this: ARMS XYZ TDMI EJF-S. Okay, as I told you that I'm TDMI, but now it is somehow extended like this. Okay, because as it has so popular, so that's why day by day there is an enhancement in the design by the designer. So that's why, as per the enhancement, the market leader is also changing. So that's why the ARM7 TDMI is now named as ARM XYZ TDMI EJFS. Okay, so we will see what is the meaning of these words. Okay, what these letters. Okay, what it indicates. Okay, so see, X indicates a family or series. Okay, so here I will show you everything. Okay, about these meanings. Okay, so one by one, just I am reading it all these things, and then I will elaborate everything. Okay, so X is a family of series, then Y is used for memory management and protections unit, then Z is saying a catch. Okay, then T is saying here a 16-bit term decoder, then D is indicating a ZTAG debugger, then M is saying here the fast multiplier, I is saying here the embedded in circuit emulator or micro cell. Okay, and then E is saying here enhance instructions for DSP, then J is showing here a Zazzle mode, okay, for accelerated Java executions. Then F is saying here and a vector floating point unit, and S is saying here the synchronizable version. Okay, now just I read all these names, okay, with the letters. Okay, but we will see how these are. Okay, now see, here I'm telling you here one by one. Okay, so as X Y Z, as these units are, okay, as these letters are telling you here family. Okay, that is ARM7 or which series they are utilizing. Okay, then X Y, oh, that is Y is memory management or it is a protection unit, and Z is a cache. What type of cache is utilized? Okay, so out of these letters, now I'm just elaborating that TDMI EJFS. Okay, see, what is that? Okay, so that's why here, as we see now, T is indicating a thumb instruction. Okay, so that's why here, see, ARM processor supports both the 32-bit ARM instruction set and 16-bit thumb instruction set. The original 32-bit ARM instructions consist of 32-bit opcode, which turns out to be a 4-byte binary pattern, and 16-bit term instructions consist of 16-bit codes or 2-byte binary pattern to improve the cache code density. So that's why here, as I already given you the brief intro about this term mode. Okay, actually the same thing will be here, only here you can see, as you can find the 4-bit pattern is adopted in 32-bit ARMs, and 2-byte pattern is adopted with this 16-bit term. Okay, so this is a beauty of this term mode. Okay, see, now the D is indicating a JTAG debugger. Okay, so JTAG is a serial protocol. Actually, it is a debugger unit. Okay, it is used for debugging purposes, but here it is used by ARM to transfer the debug informative informations between the processor and the test equipment. Nowadays, whatever the engineers, okay, manufacturers, okay, whenever they are designing their applications, okay, while designing that application, you will see there is a automatic test equipment will be there, okay. Means while designing that product, that product will be kept over that ATE, shortly we will say automatic test equipment as a ATEs. Okay, these ATE are test equipment where the everything is available. Okay, like as your knowledge point of view, just I am saying here, you know the logic. Uh, what you say, uh, CRO, DSO, okay, or a logic controller will be there, okay. Similarly, digital multimeter are there, okay. Or you can able to see the digital processor signals, okay. Logic analyzers will be there, okay. So these are clubbed with these automatic test equipments, and the engineer or the designer will see the different kind of signals generated by your controller when you are going to execute specially written any code, okay. So you will easily trace, you will easily trace what error will be generated, or what will be action carried by the controller against execution of that instructions, okay. So these things will be very clearly visible to you in terms of waveforms, or in terms of values, okay. So you can able to judge how much time will be required for the particular line, or a particular data transfers, everything will be given with the help of this JTAG debugger. So that's why here this is a protocol present with this your ARM 7 controller, okay. Then next is M, fast multiplier, okay. uh, in older ARM processor use a small and simple multiplier unit, okay. This multiplier unit required more clock cycle to complete a single multiplications, okay. With the introductions of fast multiplier unit, the clock cycle required for multiplications are significantly reduced, and modern ARM processor are capable for calculating a 32-bit product in a single cycle, okay. So this will be the enhancement over the earlier microcontrollers operation, okay. As I told you that in terms of 8051, only a single microcontroller multiplier unit will be there, and it will help you to do the multiplications. But now it has a drawback that it required lot of clock cycles for doing that operation. But now because of the modern technologies, you are now capable of doing the multiplications with a single cycles also, right? Then next is I is indicating here in embedded ICE microcell. So see, as in earlier one, I told you that thumb T, okay, DDMI. So I is a interrupt, okay, controller. Now here it is slightly changed, okay. ARM processor have on-chip debug hardware that allow processor to set a breakpoint and watch point, right? In circuit emulator is the use of hardware devices, or in circuit emulator used to debug the software of the embedded system. It operates by using a processor with additional ability to support the debug operations as well as to carry out the main functions of the systems. Okay, so here it is in circuit emulators are there. Okay, so that's why it has hardware device checking facilities. Okay, along with the debugger. Okay, and it operates by using a processor with additional ability, okay, to support the debug informations, right? So this is meaning of this TDMI, right? Similarly, here you can see E is later used for enhance instructions. Whatever the instructions which are present in the ARM7, okay, are now as the controller versions are changes, so you can see the enhanced instructions are coming. Okay, the earlier old instructions are get modified. Okay, so that's why ARM processor with this mode will support the extended DSP instruction set for high performance DSP applications. With this extended DSP instruction, the DSP performance of the ARM processor can be increased without high clock frequencies. Okay, so now the ARM processor are now clubbed with the DSPs. Okay, so that's why uh, because of this trend, you can see the extended instructions are now present with your ARM controller. Okay, and you can use these instructions for high performance point of view, right? So see, the next letter is Jazelle. Okay, J is indicating a Jazelle mode. Now this is one of the important mode present with your arms. Okay, now we see what is this technology. ARM processor with Jazelle technology can be used in accelerated executions of Java bytes. Okay, Jazelle DBX or direct byte code execution is used in mobile phones and other consumer devices for high performance Java executions without affecting memory or battery. So actually, machine independent codes. What I said that generally, whenever you are going to handle a Java bytecode, that time it is a machine independent. So it runs with not by runs over. Not considering the machines, which type of machines are utilized. Okay, so generally for independent system point of view, the Java bytecodes are provided. Okay, when that will run over any processor or any controller. Okay, so nowadays this technology is adopted in whenever you are going to handle any kind of internet. Okay, so generally whatever the waves, okay, whatever the internet websites, okay, that you find, okay, that will you can that you can open on any controller or any processor, that you can open out on your mobile or your laptop or desktop. Okay, independent of the processor, it will never considering which processor will be executing my instructions, or which will be there. Okay, which hardware will be there. So that's why actually the concept of Java bytecode is that is to execute the code without considering the controller. Okay, it will match, it always match with your controller. So that's why here this Jazelle technology can be used in accelerated executions of Java bytes. Okay, so this technology will execute is adopted in your most of the mobile as well as in our different laptop or in your tab devices, or where you see that uh, Java, okay, what whatever the advanced industrial applications or any particular domestic appliances, okay, there these Dazzle technology is mostly giving high performance, okay, for executions without any affecting the memories or batteries, okay. Okay, and mostly here Java is, whenever we talk about the Java bytes code, okay, it runs the program without considering, or it is in free from the processor. Okay, then F is a vector floating point unit. So that's why here floating point operations will be carried out with the help of floating point architecture. So in ARM processor, provide execution of floating point arithmetic operations, the dynamic range and precision offered by the floating point architecture in ARM processors are used in many real-time applications in industrial and automotive areas. Okay, so this is one of the floating point unit. Okay, the fractional operations are carried out with the help of this floating point. Now the last word is letter is S, synthesizable. The ARM processor core is available as source code. The This software core can be compiled into a format that can be easily understood by EDA tools using the processor source code. It is possible to modify the architecture of ARM processors. Okay, so synthesizable unit is also important in ARM's family. Okay, so actually these will clubbing the your entire microcontroller or ARM7, okay, ARMS family. So now this later tags are adopted with our advanced controllers. So ARMS, ARM XYZ TDMI EJFS. Okay, so this nowadays this particular technology is running in 2021. Okay, so over that controllers or the ARM sevens are running in the markets. Okay, so here now again I am telling you here, about the core. Okay, you can look the core of the ARM7 or ARM8 or ARM9 or ARM11 family will be like this. Okay, here you can see that ARM core will be there. Okay, along with this ARM core you can find the peripherals. Okay, so there are two things are present with the ARMs. Okay, first one is the ARM core, and along with the ARM core there is a ARM kit. Okay, so that's why here it is a motherboard. Okay, so that's why this ARM board, or you can say it is a motherboard. Okay, so most of the designer are telling here this is the ARM board and this is the ARM core. Okay, so this concept is present with the ARMS family, but if you look your AVR and other things, that time only a chip will be there. Okay, and that chip you can handle for any board. Okay, that a board will be designed by you by local interface devices point of view. Okay, so this now the concept is now changed. Okay, if you look here, okay, here you can find the ARM core will be there, and this ARM core is mounted over the board. That is that specially dedicated board is there. So that's why you need to handle that board along with the along for utilizations of the various on chips peripherals. Okay, actually it is a requirement because of this board you can handle the or utilize the different on chip devices which are available over the semiconductor core of that ARM. Okay, so that's why or you can specially design this board, no problem, there is no issue. Most of the manufacturer are now taking just only ARM core, and the supporting board will be developed by their own. Okay, so this fashion is running from since 2010. Okay, so no issue with the utilization of this ARM core. Okay, Now I'm extending this point over the ARM features, but at this moment I think this lecture size will be larger one. So I stop this lecture here, and in the next lecture I will continue with the ARMS features. Okay. So thank you very much for listening. Very good. Okay, and try to give your attendance in the comment box. Okay, so this is the first lecture of the ARM 7. Okay, so slowly I am giving you all idea about this ARM 7 family. Okay, so that's why this is just a brief introduction to ARM 7. Okay, so thanks for watching.